Ms. Legalista here. Welcome to the video. I'm back to talk about Dominique's side and Seam, the surrogacy escrow account management company that she ran, and that it looks like she may have taken millions of dollars transferred from some parents who were supposed to be sending payments to surrogates because they were trying to build a family. And it looks like she transferred this money so that she could start her clothing line and I guess jumpstart her music career. Yes. So take a look at some of the other videos so that you can catch up. In this video, I really want to take a look at her website. One of the things I talked about in the video where we went through and looked at her Pinterest account just to see some of the things that she was engaged in was, how do people get to the point where they say, hey, this looks like a legitimate website? Because anybody can make a website. Okay, you can make a website, on your own. Go get a GoDaddy domain, pay for that, get hosting, and you spent $30 and you're ready to go and spend some time making something look like it's legitimate. And nowadays, even if you go to the terms section, a lot of times it doesn't have a street address and a telephone number. It has an email account for you to contact if you have questions. So, how do you get to the point where you see this sort of website and you say, yes, I feel good about giving them $100,000 of my hard earned money, or even $20,000 of my hard earned money, or just any of my hard earned money? How do we take a look at these things and decide this is what we're going to do? Now, let's keep in mind that there are probably some pages here for this website that are no longer here or that have been turned off. Because if you start to click on some of these things, guess what? They all lead you right back to the home page. So it looks like some of this has been altered. Typically, when you have an attorney involved who is filing a complaint against someone, they will actually put in it, that you have to preserve everything. You can't be out here destroying evidence, documentation, and information related to this lawsuit. But in this case, I think they're having a hard time finding her. Some of the media have been shown knocking on her door. No one answers. She didn't show up at the hearing for the injunction. So we're not entirely sure where she is at this point in time. Additionally, one of the things that we did find out was that someone else owned this before her. That's what it looks like. Someone else owned this before her, and then she took over and started running this company. Now, there looks like there also may be some questions about what was going on with that transfer. This is going to be so messy, so complicated. There's so many parents and families involved on the plaintiff side, and then you've got all of these people involved on the receiving side, the transferors, which received money and property and whatever else, but didn't necessarily provide any services to Seam in order to get Seam's money. So that's the problem here. So let's take a look at this. You've got this website set up here. Yes, you've got, an adult and a baby. They say, we will handle the money. And now that's not looking so good, right? We'll handle the money. You handle what matters. Surrogacy escrow account management. We help parents create a happy relationship with their surrogate by handling the most complicated part of the process, the money. You have more important things to think about than approving bill payments, like finding the right surrogate, creating a loving, nurturing relationship with them, and finally, bringing your baby home. And, if you're the person who's looking at this sounds really good. Just think about it. That makes total sense. You're just like, I don't need to be spending my time looking at bills and going through things and got to send a check this day, got to, how am I saying, am I wiring cash? What are we doing? You don't want to be worried about that. You want to be, thinking about, hey, how's the surrogate parent doing? How are the doctor's appointments going? How are you doing with eating and stress and anything we can help you with? That's what you want to be focused on. You're putting together things for your baby, looking at names, thinking about that day when you're able to bring that baby home. So this is written precisely to touch on those concerns that parents have, which is, how do I do all of this? Well, guess what it says? You don't have to do all of this. We're here for you. We're here for you. Yeah. So this is like pulling on their heartstrings and saying, don't worry about it. We got that. We got that. You go take care of the real stuff that matters. It says we're intimately involved in this process. See, look at the terms and the language that's used, right? Our mission is to bring the joy of parenthood to as many people as we possibly can. Each member of our team is or has experienced egg donation, surrogacy, or other third party reproductive component. We've been on this journey many times and are here to help you through it. I'm not even going to click on that because that it just takes us right back to where we are. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's scroll down a little bit more. We got a picture of another parent and a toddler, right? Look at the kiss, the sweet kiss. Look at those cheeks. Look at that little smile. Payment options that make your surrogate's life easy. As a third party escrow management company, we are here to make sure all parties are represented fairly. Daily disbursements and direct deposits mean your surrogates won't get stuck waiting weeks or months for a payment. And our skilled team of account managers can help facilitate conversations about money and payments. That last part, facilitate conversations about money and payments, because, that's like the tricky part, right? Like, okay, so how do we have this conversation with them? What does it look like? Even as an attorney, when it comes to the hard conversations, that's what I tell my client. I'm like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to handle the hard conversations so you don't have to. And so that's when you say, you know what, when you're having that conversation with the other party, let me give you my attorney's number because really my attorney is sort of handling that for me and they have all the details and can really answer all of the questions that you have. I tell my clients that all the time. Don't feel like you have to take things on by yourself. That's why you have an attorney. They are using that same method here, letting you know you're not in this alone. You're not in this alone. We know it's challenging. We know you have a lot of questions, and the money piece can get sticky. Like it can get really sticky. But you know what? We can take care of that for you. So they're hitting all of the right things with the messaging. Messaging is so important when you are trying to pull in clients and customers for your business. So it looks like, and then here we go. It looks like, they had everything together because then we wrap it up. We wrap it up with a testimonial. We love testimonials, right? The thing about testimonials is, though, on your website, you're never going to have a bad testimonial, right? They're always going to be people who were very satisfied with the product or service that you provided to them. On your website, you're not going to be putting up there the most pissed off person that you ever worked with. Not happening. If so, you probably won't be in business very long. Those reviews will likely be on Google or Yelp or someplace else. They won't be on your website. Jessica Carrier says, the SEAM team was a dream team. Look at how that's written. The SEAM team was a dream team. They're kind and on top of everything. I had no worries, which helped make the journey enjoyable. Yes, nice to have somebody speak up. Then we have, look, 1,000 plus happy families. Sometimes you see these numbers and things, and do you really think it's 1,000 plus families? It very well could be. But if I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's a very nondescript, generic site. There's nothing really personal about it. For instance, if you were to go to my website for my law firm, for the state that I'm licensed in, you're going to see lots of pictures of me. On the about page, you're going to see information about me. You get to find out me, learn about me, see me, hear me. This is very impersonal. It's very impersonal. It comes across more as a corporate entity than it does someone who has a personal take on helping families. I don't know. I'm just saying. If that's what you're going for, then this is perfect because you go, oh, this has a very corporate feel to it. It feels like something in the healthcare industry. I feel like my money would be safe with them. I feel like my money would be safe with them because they feel like a big company, and big companies, they don't just fall apart, but they do. 1,000 plus families. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe. Stories we love. Again, like nothing there. It all, and just to show you, it just goes back to the homepage. So we've got great families there. Let us help you bring your family home. We know all the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the victories and the heartbreaks of this process. And we'll be right there beside you the whole way. I mean, imagine that you're this parent and that you've been trying desperately to have kids. Like, this is very painful. This hurts me just to read this, to know that these people probably, have been through a lot to get to where they are. And now to be in this situation, this is the whole story here is just really heartbreaking. It really is. So you can go here, create your account. Of course, like I said before, I don't think you can create a thing up here now. My surrogate trusts me. So why do I need escrow management? Okay, that's a question people have. It's always, you want to put all the information out there. You want to answer people's questions, take away concerns that they have. And you do that sometimes by putting the question out there for them so that they can already answer it. They can already see what the answer is. We're not just here to manage money. Discover how having an escrow account manager on your team can help you navigate expenses such as insurance and billing, create a stronger relationship, build even more trust with your surrogate, have a smoother pregnancy journey. Receive our free guide. That's always a plus. The top 5 reasons why even trustworthy parents to be need an escrow account manager. Well, there you go. Now, at the very bottom of this page, there is some information about the terms and conditions of using the website and the privacy policy. I know the terms and conditions works because I clicked on it. You've got the privacy policy there. But there's nothing up here now. There might have been in the past. There's nothing up here now that provides any information about who is running this. Even when you do open the privacy policy piece, again, it just has, I think it's like info at team. Look, I'm having so much trouble with bringing this down. When you click on this, yes, when you click on this, and here's the information here, terms of use. So it's not like it's saying, here's our street address, here's the name of the owner, here's specifically our times that you can call us and talk to us. So a lot of that kind of information now for some of these online businesses, they just don't put it out there anymore. They just don't put it out there. So I think they have like something like info at somewhere up here. Yeah. Yeah. So that gives you some insight into what these parents were seeing when they were doing their research and vetting. And it's very likely that they went to multiple sites and did a lot of research, and that this was the one that they said, I like this one. I'm going to check out this free guide. The pictures up here make me feel good. I like what they're saying. They answer some of my questions before I ever even, get on the phone with them or have a conversation with them about what this process looks like. So I'm feeling kind of good about this, and I want to follow up with them. So, when people are doing their research, a lot of times we don't want to be as skeptical as sometimes we need to be. It can be really hard. And when you're in a space where you're very vulnerable, think about that. These people are very vulnerable at this moment in time because they're trying to build a family. And for whatever reason, the usual pathway is not one that they're using, and they're having to use this one or choosing to use this one. And that comes with a little bit more complications sometimes, some more complexities. You got to work things out. You want things to work. You want this to be a good person. You want this to be a good website. You want to know that these people are going to do right by you. And it looks good. You do a little bit of research and it looks good. And unfortunately, it turns out that that's not the case. So we'll see how this all turns out. We'll see where this is going. There's an injunction in place now. The funds have been frozen. They can't do any transferring of funds or anything. So let's stay tuned, keep a watch on this, and see how this all pans out. See if Dominique's side shows back up. Wondering, because we're wondering now, where are you, Dominique? Where are you, Dominique? Go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah.